In today's video, we're going to find out who Kronovi's new team is, as he has officially signed on with a new roster. We also have Tigreee joining another RLCS roster as well after his split in his kind of quiet off season, I guess, if you want to call it that. And a bunch of other teams have also confirmed that they are keeping their rosters together for the spring split. What's up, everybody? Lawler here, your inside source for all things Rocket League. Some stuff to discover and talk about, but obviously before we get into that, if you guys do enjoy the content, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, turn on notifications, all that fun stuff. We're trying to hit 50,000 subs by the end of this year. Bit of a stretch goal, but hopefully we can do it together. Also, social media is always linked down below as well if you'd like to support me there directly for behind the scenes stuff, all that kind of fun stuff. But in today's video, obviously, as I mentioned in the intro, we are going to be covering the first thing, and probably the one most people are kind of curious about, is the fact that Kronovi has a new team. Kronovi obviously took a little bit of a break after he was let go from Rogue and tried some different rosters. Primarily Zero Issues was the one that he tried out the most for, but then that team was let go and their organization left. So we were kind of nervous about where Kronovi was possibly going to go. I personally think he joins the analyst desk and I'm happy. I would love to see him and Gibbs banter, but that's just my personal take. I think he'd be a really good coach too. But he is still in the competitive mindset, and I don't blame him. He is still plenty good of a player and has found himself on Continuum. For those that don't know, Continuum used to have Spider on their team. Spider was released and is now on 72 PC, and Continuum has brought in their new player in Kronovi. In their post, they say, well, this is Kronovi announcement. Welcome Kronovi to the starting roster. He will be joining Aeon and Astro. So Aeon, Astro, and Kronovi, bringing in some much needed veteran experience. Should be interesting to see on how this one plays out. Initial thoughts, I do think Kronovi can kind of slot into whatever position he needs him to, but I'm curious on what they may have tried out otherwise. I don't know if Continuum tried out a bunch of different people. I would have to reach out and ask. But I do think that Kronovi is a pretty solid option, obviously, as a third player coming in. Playstyle wise, I honestly couldn't tell you. Continuum and the results haven't really gone hand in hand. Well, at least, I mean, good results, I should say. I mean, I take a look at their Liquipedia page, and when it comes to the grid, they're always in the bottom. Like, they've never progressed past that, which is really unfortunate. I will say in their closed qualifiers, they also failed against 72 PC, which is actually where Spider is now. But I mean, they've gone up some pretty tough competition in their losses. Losses coming to like PK, NV. But then you look at other ones where they're in closed qualifiers and they're losing like down to earth and stuff. So hopefully this will transition them into a better direction. Their best result they've had, though, was in week 2 of the grid for Winter Split, where they lost to Space Station. So they did progress past that first initial stage, but again, there's been some pretty upsetting results on their end. And as a person who watched another team kind of go through this, I can talk about it. It's very difficult to kind of break out of that bottom seed. Version 1 had the same issue where they were playing really close against top tier teams like Space Station and G2 and Energy. And in order to kind of get out of that like 12 to 16 seed where you're going up against one of the best teams in the region right away, it's very difficult to kind of get that break. And once you're in there, you have to have a really big upset in order to do so. So I can understand Continuum's situation of why they continue to struggle. But the team just has to find a way to get that one big win, and then who knows what happens after that. Those consistent results then turn into top 8, top 6, and then your one needed result pushes you into the semifinals, and it's a world of difference. So Continuum obviously had been having to do an uphill battle for quite a while, but ultimately it is going to be on Kronovi to kind of bring them out of that. It'll be interesting to see on what new approach this team takes as a roster, but again, best of luck, and happy Kronovi's found a new home. Other players that were trying to find a new home and trying to figure out what was going on. Tigreee put out a tweet on the 31st of January saying, super excited to announce that I will be joining White Demons, where I will be playing alongside CRR and Dorito for the next RLCSX split. So a team that is preemptively saying that as well, they are going to be finding a roster and happy with the roster for the upcoming spring split. He says, can't wait to start grinding. They have a ton of potential, and I'm really looking forward to our journey together. The concern on this one is obviously Tigreee previously was on Fadeaway, trying to find a new home, trying to figure out what his situation was, and as the team disbands, left without a home. I'll say White Demons is a team that has had some pretty good upsets when you look at their results. Obviously kind of in the lower half, but every once in a while you get that potential of they're like, oh shoot, they could actually do something here. So maybe some veteran experience with Tigreee. These young kids, you just never know what they're fully capable of, but again, Tigreee, Best of luck to you, man. Hopefully you can make some heads turn. Talked about this one actually a little bit ago with the Rix.gg team and how they were open for offers and they were going to be released. This is more of just kind of a culmination of that. Rix.gg in their blog post actually put out the fact that they have officially released the team. They were not able to find a team that wanted to pick them up, do buyouts, whatever it may be, which kind of makes sense. I don't mean that in any ill ways towards the team. It's just results for Rix.gg have been pretty lackluster. So the chances of a team coming and buying them out as compared to a team like Top Blokes or Peeps or anything else like that is just slim to none. So the team is officially orgless. They are going to have to either A, determine if they want to keep their roster, stick together and try their best, or if they're going to find a new opportunity, whatever it may be. But Rix.gg is out. I will say though, in this, Rix does kind of hint at and provide a little bit of like, we want to get back in. I don't think Rix wants to remove themselves from the scene. It seems like they're relatively happy with the way things have gone in the regards to the format and working with Psionics, etc. It's just the results weren't there for the team. So maybe we'll see Rix.gg back in the scene sooner than later. Would be okay with that, but ultimately they do talk about how it was a tough decision and they didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. You know, basically saying formalities, but again, obviously you want to wish the best for your team. You kind of start to get to know these guys on a personal level, and obviously you need to look out for their well-being. But from Rick's side, like, it is a business. They need to look out for their number one. They need to make sure that if they are going to be losing money, the money that they're paying for like advertising or exposure on the main page is better than what it has been. Because you look at the difference of a team that's performing really well, the amount of matches and the amount of eyes, like regionals for North America this past weekend hit like 114,000 viewers. That stuff, when those teams are in those big moments, that's a lot of fans that they can develop, which leads to merch sales and everything else. So unfortunately for the team, not only the players, but also the organization, not able to make things work out. Another team that is confirming their roster for the spring split is going to be TrainHard. Obviously the German team that has had a lot of really exciting moments, but still just hasn't been able to string it together for a long-term thing. You've got Econ, Cryptos, and Cataclysm. You also have Magix, their coach slash manager. They're all sticking together for the spring split, which I'm actually really happy about. TrainHard has given us a couple moments of like, heck yeah, like these guys are going to stay competitive. This could be your wild card team along teams like Wolves and otherwise. But I think they're just like, they're right there. I don't know what needs to change. I would have to kind of deep dive and take a look at the analysis on it, but I'm actually excited that they're sticking together. It's still a relatively new team and still a lot of things to build off of. And maybe they can take that like second season jump that you see in like professional sports where like you're a rookie, you get used to the whole like, oh, this is what it's like to be a pro. And then you take that next step up. So glad to see TrainHard is sticking with them. Good to see that the guys are sticking together. And best of luck in the spring split. You got a little bit of an off time, but hopefully you come back stronger than before. That is going to wrap it up for this video for your Rocket League news. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or if there's anything else you think I've missed, maybe there's been updates since the past couple of days, make sure you drop those in the comments down below, and I'll make sure to get those in an updated video for you all as well as provide my thoughts on them. I kind of want to do like a Mail Monday in the future, like a Mail Sunday or something like that, where you literally just take whatever questions you guys send to me. Maybe we can make that a regular, where once a week, whatever questions you guys send, I will do my best. Twitter is the best place to get me on that. So if you guys start tweeting at me, I also have a subreddit that I think I made a long time ago. If you literally go to reddit.com/r/Lawler, I think you guys can go and post stuff there. Maybe I'll start doing like a weekly Reddit recap or something like that. But ultimately, do appreciate all the love and support. Thank you again, as always, and we will see you next time.